Good morning, everybody. It's Yankee Wally here. 2:09 in the morning, Monday the 22nd of July. Now, I was thinking, yesterday when I was telling you that story about my friend Deb, I think I said her real name as well halfway through, but we'll forget about that. It's quite a common name. And her boyfriend Shaka and all that jazz. And then afterwards I said, why did I tell you that story? Well, what it was I was talking about honour killings, wasn't I? And I was taking her home, and she lived in a really rough part of Newport called Pilgwentley. That's the Welsh way, Pilgwentley, but you call it Pill. And we went past this house, and she said, see that house there? And I said, yeah. She said, see the upstairs windows always closed? She said, there's a girl in that room. I said, how do you know? She said, well, because she had two daughters, I think, Jessica and... Anyway, the daughter was Jessica's age and suddenly stopped going to school and said that she was going to, I don't know, Bangladesh or something, to get married. And she was like 14, 15. I said, no. She said, yeah, and they won't let her out because she's going to run away. And that was, well, nothing much was heard about, nothing was ever heard from that girl ever again. She never went back to school. She never came back to Newport. And nobody ever knew what happened to her. But for weeks and weeks, I think it was something like 3 months, she was upstairs in a bedroom with the curtains drawn and she was not allowed out. I don't know what their plan was for her. And I can just remember thinking, well, we hear about honour killings and we see them on the crime channels and things, but you never realise that it could be around your corner if they suddenly take one of their daughters out of school. And, there's a law against it in this country, and the police are very vigilant on bringing the perpetrators to justice. But is it our place to well, I mean, the resources are huge, but is it our place to change their laws when they don't want them changed? There's never going to be a peaceful solution until the people that come to live in our country accept that our laws are that nobody can get married under the age of 18, 16 with parents' permission. And even that's too young, I think. And if they don't want to get married, they don't have to. Those are the laws, and if they're forced into a forced marriage, there's so many terrible things go on that we really don't even open our eyes to. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, enough about that. I've covered that now. So last night, I lost one of my videos. YouTube took it down. Oh, it didn't take much for me. I'm at the moment, I'm like on a knife edge. I can't quite relax enough to say the things I want to say because I'm fearful, you see. And I thought, oh God, they're at me again. But when I looked at it rationally, it was not my best video. It was not even a good video. It was talking about, I was so shocked after the attempted assassination that the video was more or less all about that. I think it was called Politics and Misery. That's right. And they took it down. I didn't even object because I wasn't really proud of that video either, because I don't really like talking about politics. Not when I'm here to make you feel better. Politics doesn't ever make anyone feel better. It doesn't at all. So, and then I asked you again last night. I said, do you want me to go on about the parlour stories? And I've been thinking, I've just got to start talking about them again. But I'm a bit afraid, you see, because these people that they come in all shapes and sizes, all names, all accounts, never got hardly any followers, or they're new accounts, and they come in, bash me, people report them, oh great, we got them taken down, bang, here they come again with another account in another name. So every time I log into X, the first thing I do is go to the search, and I type in Yankee Wally. And I'm not like Meghan Markle reading my headlines, far from it. I'm looking for the abuse. So I look at the latest ones because I've kept up to date. And then I just scroll down and here we go, ray of sunshine. When are YouTube going to do anything about this sex trafficking, drug taking, prostitute, madam, jailbird, drugs, So I replied and I said, the same as I usually say, I never swear, and I say, look, you're getting a bit boring with the same old stuff. Okay, so I went to jail. Okay, so I owned a brothel. Okay, so I take prescription drugs. Can you find some new dirt on me? So you're getting a bit boring. Is that you? And then I put the @ and Sarah Data. Is that you, Sarah Data? Back in another disguise, right? I did that a few times because I know that they always address it to YouTube, YouTube creators, YouTube liaison, YouTube law department, whatever. So I always make sure that whatever I say is fit for office consumption, Well, I wouldn't do anything else, really. So I put that on and I thought, that might stop them now, because if it is Sarah Data, then she's going to know, and they must know I've written that letter to Mr. Mohan. So I did it about 3 times, and all of a sudden, crikey, couldn't believe my eyes. Look at this. Sarah Data. That is her account. That is her original account. In fact, I'll prove it to you now by going on to X. And if you look at the top of the screen there, Sarah Data, it's got an underscore after the A. Now, I've never known anybody to give their account away. And I know what Sarah Data looks like. So it's Sarah Data underscore, right? And then she was saying, finally got... Well, I when I wrote to Mr. Mohan, who's the CEO of YouTube, I said to him, please look at my profile header. And then I told him who I believed it was, but I could be wrong, and everything. So she was the one, and she suddenly... What I did to Yankee Wally was just horrible. By the way, Wally, I agree with you about Boozy. He's a total clown. So a couple of people have replied to this now, and they've said, nah, it's not her. She wouldn't say that. Now, I started reading all her tweets, but this picture of her that you see there, it does look like her. Anyway, I put it back in a quote, and I put, why are you saying this now, Sarah Data? Unfortunately, I forgot to copy in YouTube liaison, YouTube creators. I should have made sure that they had a copy of it, but I forgot. So they won't know about this unless they're reading the tweets. Is this an apology? You need to explain to Mr. Mohan and his staff exactly what damages you have done to me and my reputation. She didn't reply. So that's how it's looking so far. But it's interesting, isn't it? I love a bit of drama, me. I really do. I love it when... you go on and on about things and you're waiting and sitting on this, and then suddenly when something moves, it's like, wait, what? Anyway, so I went on to X tonight just to have a little look. Oh, by the way, did you know that on YouTube, this has nothing to do with me? I swear to God, they're still selling Justice for Wally tote bags. $26, $32 for an 18-inch square. It's nothing to do with me. This is the enemy. And I shouldn't really be saying anything. What I should do is try and find out who's selling them. How did I find it? Well, I looked at... do you remember when I had the fake lawyer? What a bloody mess that was, eh? The Swedish one. Gina Walters Dottier. Well, I didn't know at the time, but Sarah Data was born in, I don't know, Nigeria, Ghana, somewhere, and went to Sweden and then ended up in America. Well, so she must have made a lot of friends. And I think she's got a brother as well that remains in Sweden, because I read somewhere that he asked her to send some of the new McDonald's Shenzhen sauces or something. Good God, fancy wasting postage sending a packet of sauce. Dear God, they got money to burn. Anyway, so I know Sarah Data has got a connection to Sweden. This lawyer was Swedish. Well, if I didn't, I opened my heart up, and I spoke from that. Well, you know what I'm like. I totally trusted her, just like I did with Ellie Hall. Same old, same old. But I got some good news about something about Ellie Hall in a minute. And then Avid Gardner got some really strange email from America claiming to be the legal team. Anyway, and Duchess Strophair was involved in it. She was the one who introduced me to the lawyer. That's why Duchess Strophair was not to be trusted. And Duchess Strophair, Fiona and myself had a WhatsApp group that Duchess Strophair named Oi. O-I. You remember her, don't you? Good day, peeps. On the YouTube streets. How they hanging? You remember her? Well, we were friends. Now, this WhatsApp group and all this conversation that we were having, which was really friendly and nice, because Fiona was growing her channel. I had no channel at the time. I'd been taken down. And the girl, Duchess Strophair, Penny, I'll call her Penny, I won't say her surname, but Penny was supposedly helping me by giving me her platform to talk on. Oh, I'm sorry, I just got to blow my nose. So, all the time that Avid Gardner and myself, we were friends with Penny, again, trusting, the way we are, she was working for the enemy. And then, I think it was called Montecito Royale. She opened a YouTube channel called Montecito Royale and was talking on that. She said it wasn't her, the lawyer her, but it was a close friend. So I don't know who it was. It was an American. I don't even know if that woman had a Swedish accent or not. Looking back on it now, I just wanted so desperately to get some help because I'd just been told by the Sugars that I was on the Metropolitan Fixated Persons list. They're still on about that. And I've already debunked that. But at that particular time, I was horrified. I really was, to be called a stalker and was on a list as a stalker and things like that. So I was desperate, any help. And I didn't have the money to pay. So we both of us took Penny into our hearts, And I fell for it. Worse than that. I didn't have any money. My YouTube had gone, and all my money had gone on my teeth, And she started up a Buy Me a Coffee fund. And of course, people were giving to it. People that liked me were giving, thinking that it was donations to help me, for which I was ever so grateful. Even I contributed to it. As much as I could afford, I gave in, Oh, there was a lot of money collected on that coffee fund because I've never asked anyone for money, but there's never been an ask for money for me. So my subscribers were very, very generous. Oh, and then comes the handbags, these tote bags. And they weren't very nice in the beginning, but then they sort of smoothed them out a bit and put them back out. And the other day I was looking at an old, I save videos and I save this and that. And so I found the Montecito Royale channel and it was offering these tote bags for sale. I thought, my God, there's a bloody nerve. Because when the shit hit the fan, to put it bluntly, we even had, do you remember Big Fat Psychic up in Newcastle upon Tyne? Oh, I don't know where she came from. She's disappeared now. Again, I'll go as far as to say, most definitely 90% certain that she was a paid troll. She did exist. She wasn't a bot, but they were approaching people. In fact, I had my own tweet from Sarah Data and Crystal Boozy. I think I've read them too. You know you don't make as much money as the others, and you know more than them. Come and talk to us in DMs and we'll pay you. You know, Megan was throwing her money around like a paddy on payday. She was just buying people that weren't as loyal as they should have been. And this girl up in Big Fat Psychic, she was coming out with some terrible things about me. I said, you don't even know me. And that was it, so on and on it went. So I got in touch with Buy Me a Coffee, and I said that it was a fraudulent account, and they closed it down straight away. And I asked for everybody to have their money back. I still don't know, because to be honest, I didn't have the guts to ask anyone, because if they said no, I would have felt responsible to reimburse it, and I couldn't afford it. So I did what I could, and then I just backed off. But this footage of conversations, texts that Avid, Penny, and myself had in the OI group were all kept. And in fact, I've bagged them up into a zipped file. God knows how I did that, because I'm not very good, but somehow I exported it to Avid Gardener's WhatsApp so that she knows, because she's, when Piglet comes on and says these things and nasty things are said, there's a grain of truth in it. I've got to say that. There's a grain of truth in it, because I was talking freely in the WhatsApp group and making jokes about, well, I do push it. I do push my luck a bit. I got to be honest. If I trust people, I can come out with some, not nasty things, putting myself down, really, wicked, naughty things. And I say things. And there's truth in there, So when it came out from Piglet and Ems and Friends, MT&T Therapy, coming out by way of her other account, which was Smarty Pants 73, Breyer, or the other one she's got now, which is Oh Happy Hopper Ho, Zero Happy Hopper Zero. Things were coming out, and I thought, where the hell did they come from? How would they know that? Because they were things that I would talk to you if I was having a one-to-one conversation with you, and maybe, we were chatting and had a little drink, and you said, oh, tell me this and tell me that. Oh, I'd go for it. I tell you. And yeah, basically, it's more than a grain of truth in it. It's probably true. And so I had really, really set the cat amongst the pigeons there. And so all the information that was coming out from these people was from Penny, Duchess Stropbear, who I don't trust at all now. But she still comes out and says these weird things. So anyway, there was a point to this. So I ramble on. I get so caught up in things. So I didn't know if this Sunshine Ray 2005, some account like that was abusing me, was Penny again working for the Sussex Squad, because she does. It's no two ways about it. Penny does work for the Sussex Squad. She's one that they've taken over. Was she ever a Meg's idiot? I doubt it. And I forgot now. Because I'm thinking of the next thing I've got to tell you. But so anyway, I copied in Sarah Data, that's right. And all of a sudden then, Sarah Data came out and said that. And I know it's Sarah Data's account. I know it is. And I know people are going to say, oh, it's a parody now. She's marked it as a parody. Nobody like this Sarah Data parody. Nobody gives their account away. Nobody does. You don't give an account away. You can say you've given it away. But once you've put your mark on your account, I could no more give Yankee Wally away than I could give my personality away. Because whoever takes over from me wouldn't be me. And you can easily tell it's not easy to convince somebody, when other people make text messages on your behalf from your phone. People know. And I always was I remember when I put a report in that Pentanet.com about Dolly, and she said that she knew it was me straight away. Because I put this report in. You can go on to Pentanet. I've already talked about that before. It's a website for recommendations on the best and worst girls in the best and worst parlours in UK. And we were on Pentanet, and Dolly was one of the staff. So I thought I'll give her a bit of a boost and I'll write a report for her. Now, Dolly, she called herself Dolly. She was a mature lady. She was about, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years older than me. She went to public school. She used to have tuck boxes. Her father was a professor and her mother was a teacher, and they lived in a big, big house up in Llandaff, which is a posh area of Cardiff. She just had she had a wicked streak in her, which I totally accept and I like. I do like people that are not afraid to, but she had a good look about her. She had quality look about her. And so I wrote this report and I said, I've just been to A1 Leisure and I've seen Dolly. My God, what a thrill. When she got going, she was like a barn door in a hurricane. I just... I mean... Oh, dear, I just thought it was funny. And then she said, you did a report on me. I said, you are right about it. She said, well, she had a very posh voice. Well, I'm not quite sure about this. I was only trying to boost her ratings a bit, that's all. Anyway, excuse me. Ocean Girl, Ocean Sussex, I've got to show you this because she's actually took the photo and done a straight line from the middle of Meghan's front of her neck straight down. I tried this. No matter how hard I swung the hips, my belly didn't move several inches across side to side. And what she's done is she's taken the photo at 2 different angles. And as you can see, because it's a pattern material, it doesn't stay going through. And that to me is absolutely magnificent evidence to suggest that your baby doesn't rock from side to side. Your body will, but your baby is kind of pretty much firmly attached. It's got to be. You can't have it going backwards and forwards. That wouldn't be right for the baby. And as you can see there, the same picture, only maybe another couple of paces she'd taken, and it's swung. And luckily the fabric, the pattern, gives the game away. Thanks, Ocean Girl. Oh, yes, right. Now, I put this tweet up. I got to tell you, this is drama. And if you don't like drama, just switch off for 15 minutes because I was very offended. I was extremely offended, actually. And I put this up. And yet it says on the bottom, Yankee Wally TikTok. I know I didn't make it. I can't make things like this. I'm not clever enough. But I didn't know who had made it because Yankee Wally was on it. And I knew it wasn't me, so I just put it up. It's an old one. It's a couple of years old. Well, it's more than that. It might be 4 years old. Anyway, we get... Remy is a good boy, I think the name is. Wait a second. She gave me a gobful. Oh, anyway, I found out now. It is right there. Let me just try and find the account. Oh, she hurt my feelings, actually. Because, here we go, this one. Replies. And I've reposted stuff from this. She said, there's my tweet, right? And she said, Credit to Harry's grey suit for this. Not only did she create it, but then you literally cropped off her watermark. Well, I was like a stunned mullet. I thought, cropped off her watermark? I've never, ever cropped off a watermark. In fact, I know it sounds feeble to say this, but I can only crop pictures. I can't crop videos, especially across the bottom. You may be able to shorten them in length, from 10 seconds to 5 seconds, but to crop it across the bottom, I don't think that's possible. And I said, I really had no idea who made it. I swear to God, I never cropped her off it. I've never done such a thing, and I never ever will. I always give good full credit, but I truly couldn't find any. Please, Megan's Mole, accept my apology. It was never ever intended. Why would I do such a thing? Trouble is, it wasn't Megan's Mole. It was Harry's grey suit. I got that a bit wrong. That wasn't good enough for her anyway. And then he says, this March Rhodas, you make this world a better place. It reminds us all to keep pushing for the right thing, because it's the right thing to do. Ooh, you made my day. I love you so much. And then the old mean girl, as in I'm the mean girl. And thank you for always standing up to the right thing, to which he gets a couple of kisses. And so anyway, I couldn't believe my eyes. I said, I did. I went a bit mad, actually. Where am I now? Replies. Here we go. Remy gets his panties in a twist easily, says Jasmine. Don't worry about it, Wally. We all know the person you are and we love you. I said, thank you, Jasmine. Jasmine 269-56265. Because when something like this happens, Remy is a man. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, can he ask before accusing? I have zero idea. I just said that. We don't know whether he's a man or woman. Ellie Fox Barton says, anyone who knows your work will know how honest you are. I have hundreds of memes I've taken from others, like everyone else on here has, and I have no idea who did any of them. Don't let one rude, judgmental prick upset you, as he's not worth your time. And I said, thank you, Ellie. Unfortunately, I got Megan's Mole mixed up with Harry's grey suit. I apologise to the wrong one, but I love both those channels and I would never disrespect their work, especially as I'm incapable of cropping anything other than pics. I must admit, Remy is a good boy's harsh words took me by surprise. A real kangaroo court. She got it completely wrong. Thanks again, Ellie. And there's, I was hurt. I was just so hurt. Because for one thing, she was wrong. And for the second thing, Harry's grey suit sent me some flowers once. And I never forgot that. Why would I ever do anything to hurt? And Megan's Mole. She's been so kind to me as well. Both of them. I love them both. They're both creators that I respect and admire. And a lot of others, of course. But to have somebody, let's put it bluntly, shit-stirring like that, could create problems between myself and Megan's Mole, or myself and Harry's grey suit. Megan's Mole is my own fault. I put her name in by mistake. And I would be mortified if that happened. And I certainly would never steal their thunder. I can't. I can't do that if I wanted to. It's not my nature. How can I explain? If somebody said, go on, pass it off, I can't. It's wrong to do that. So why would I do that and crop off the bottom? I mean, a video is a moving piece of art, isn't it? Moving pictures. it's easy to crop off at the end of a video. If a video's too long, well, actually, I can't do it. So what I do is I speed it up, don't I? That's what I was doing a while back. But I'm sure if I concentrated, I could take 10 seconds off. But crop it along the bottom? How would you do that? How on earth would you do that? I have no idea. I've never done it, and I certainly never would. And in order to take credit, that little Mimi has been around for about 4 or 5 years now. I had no idea it was Harry's grey suit. Now I know, and I apologise for not giving credit to Harry's grey suit, but I've always given credit. So, and I'm sorry to have to use a platform that's a bit bigger than Remy's, although Remy's, I think, has got quite a lot of followers. But I'm sorry to have to go saying it on a platform. But Remy, don't accuse people without the proof. Really, it's a very big mistake to make, and it can upset people, especially people like me, who absolutely rely, I totally rely on my honesty. That's all I've got, is my reputation. And if you start messing with my reputation and trying to belittle it, I will come for you, because that's all I've got, and I'm not having that took away, not by you or anybody else, because people trust me, I think. Well, if people don't trust me, that's not my fault. It's not my fault. But I've never told any lies, and well, it just hurt my bloody feelings. Anyway, good news on the Ellie Hall I was telling you about. I got a lovely friend, and her name's Annie McDonald. She's the one on X called Mad Duchess. The Mad Duchess. Anyway, she's trying to get her YouTube channel together, and I promised her I'd give her a shout out. But more to the point, this girl is, I don't know, there's something awfully special about her in her naivety and her total innocence, and her, I can spot an honest person, you know, I usually can. She's just a very, very nice person. She's, I don't know, about 39, 40. She's just had a gastric band fitted. She went over to Turkey. Oh, so she's on a big weight loss process at the moment, and that was the food that she keeps sending me pictures of her food. I think I might have a few here to show you now. You never know. Yes, there we are. There's today's. What we got? We got rice, peas, sweet corn, tomatoes. And usually she sends me that. I use empty ice cream containers. In fact, I used one of those tonight, because they go in the microwave nice. And you can eat straight from the containers. I had chili, a tin of chili, Stag's chili, bloody hell, that's good stuff, and some long grain rice, but I couldn't eat it. And she'll always say, this is what I had tonight, but I couldn't finish it. And she eats half a hamburger now and things like that. But she does cook a lot, and she's got OCD, so she keeps clean and things like that. I wish I lived closer to her. I'd hire her for cleaning, because her flat is spotless. But she's a lovely, lovely, lovely person. I don't wonder if I can find her YouTube channel, just so that I can give you. Actually, why not look for her on X? And she's bound to advertise it on there. Mad Duchess GU. There she is. Look at the picture she's put up. I never noticed that before. She's brown-nosed Scooby. She only got 98 followers. Well, I think that's her. She doesn't live in Montecito. Honk if you think Prince Harry is... Oh, God. Anyway, she's the one. Has she put her YouTube channel up? No, she hasn't. Anyway, she listens to all my videos. Annie, listen now. Put your YouTube channel up in your link here. I've got to put mine up. At the moment, I've only got Patreon up. And that's asking for money, and I don't want to do that. I'm a bit nervous, you see, because I'm coming to the point now where last time I got up to 10,000 and whack, down went my channel. I know they took a video down yesterday morning or yesterday evening, but I'm okay with that. In fact, it was a message. That was a message, a hint. It was to guide me in the right direction, and the direction was no politics, because it's going to get even worse in the next couple of months, and you're going to see it all over the news in America. But I will say one thing. Biden has recommended, what's the word? I don't know. Kamala Harris, right? Now, it's pretty obvious to me that whoever he's putting up to step in for him now that he's stepping down is going to get thrashed by Trump. So really, he's putting up a martyr, isn't he? Somebody that's going to go down in November, I think, right? But in many ways, Kamala Harris is the right person, because I do believe that Kamala Harris would stay laughing even if her ass was on fire. She just doesn't stop laughing. So it'll be fun to see her laughing all the way through to November. I can't take the girl seriously, because there comes a time when everything, even the funniest things, you've got to be serious. You know what I mean? You've got to be serious sometimes. So she's got a bit of a job on now, and that's all I'm going to say about it. That's all. Righto. Elon Musk. Right, let's get back onto my gallery, because I've got a few things in here I want to show you. That was Annie's dinner. I had the thing. Look at that, though. Look how much his son looks like him when he was younger. And did you know that Barron Trump is 6'9" or 6'10"? Right, this is it. That's a direct message. I can't show you. Annie, this is why I was talking about Annie. Annie knew what happened with Samantha Markle, and it was a terrible thing, actually. I not only lost my YouTube channel, that was in 2022, but I lost my friendship with Samantha Markle. No, we didn't ever have a row, and we didn't ever stop speaking. I thought the world of it. I was so proud to be her friend, and she would give me things that she wanted me to put out to the... Excuse me a minute. Oh, I can't be bothered to switch it on. Oh, suffer, baby, suffer. Oh, and Ellie Hall got me to say a story. And again, you know, I'm my own worst enemy. Yes, I know. Guilty as charged. And she used it and twisted it. And then Jack Royston, he picked up the dregs of the story because they were working in cahoots. And he bashed me as well. So, and then Jack Malone of YouTube said that I was instigating hates and removed my channel. Then, if that wasn't bad enough, I had two BuzzFeed and Newsweek reporting about me laughing as I said I'm making more than I ever made as a brothel keeper, which was actually quite true, because I didn't save, I couldn't save when the girls needed stuff more than me. You know, I just did things with my money that I've no regrets I did at all. It wasn't spent on drink and drugs. It was spent on making those girls' lives a little bit better. But I had enough. I had more than enough to live on. I had a nice car and I had a nice flat. But that was it, you know. So anyway, Ellie Hall went down to Sam's house. I didn't even know where Sam lived. I never ask people where they live. I might ask which country or even which county, but I wouldn't go further than which state are you in, you know. So she went to Sam's house, wherever she lived, Florida area, I think, and said that I said she could go down, and basically Ellie used me as a sort of a leverage to get in Sam's door. And Sam said to her, I remember Sam saying, she shouldn't have said that. And I thought, you're right, Sam, and I didn't say it. In fact, I didn't say anything about Sam other than I like Sam, we are friends, and I do like her very much. Anyway, Annie was talking to Sam. Now, Sam's on Instagram. I'm talking about Samantha Markle now, you know. And Annie said, I'm direct messaging her on Instagram. I said, Annie, I said, I rue the day I ever met that Ellie Hall. I said, she lost me Sam's friendship and my YouTube channel, the bloody cow, you know. She said, do you want me to say something to her? I said, well, I would, but at the same time, I said, if she said she can F off, and I would be mortified, you know. And so she said, leave it to me, I'll see what I can do. So I don't know what she said. It was something nice. And then she came back to me the next day and she said, oh, Sammerson replied. She said, I don't know if she hasn't seen this message or whether she just doesn't want to talk about it. I said, right, Annie, there's your message. I said, best thing to do now is just forget you said it and just carry on your friendship with her because that's important. I said, don't worry, it's okay. I can understand because Sam had been through the ringer herself. She didn't know who to trust. I mean, you know. So anyway, turns out Sam had not read the message, and then she read the message, and then she sent a message back to Annie, and it was a lovely message. And in that message, she gave me her phone number, but I already had her phone number. I just hadn't rung it, obviously. I couldn't ring it. I wouldn't do that to somebody. But she gave me her number again. She said that I can get in touch, and she said she understood that I was set up. And that really made my night. I can take 100 Remy is a good boy insults if I got one decent friend, because I like Sam a lot. I've always liked her. She's always really put on a good show when she's on television. She says the right words. She's absolutely coherent. She's got a fine knowledge of the English language. She uses big words that even I don't understand sometimes. But considering she's got MS, and she was diagnosed with MS when she was about 15. And if you read her memoir, which I've read quite a few different ones here and there. I think she was playing on a rope swing in some greenery, woody area, and she fell off the swing, and that was what triggered the MS to start. The fall, you know. It's always something that'll start something that's there lying idle, I think, anyway. I think cancer can come from stress. So I think, you know, if you don't want to take cancer tablets or have chemo, I think people should, the doctor, in my opinion, mind, I'm not a doctor. I doubt they'd ever give me a license. But I'd say, just give me 10 Valium a day so that I don't get stressed. And I think that would hold it in check. I'm not quite sure if it's right. It's probably wrong. And those bloody Sussex squad now are going to say that I'm giving death advice out to, oh God, I don't bloody care. Anyway, I just don't care. So me and Sam, I haven't texted her or rung her yet, so, but I will. And we'll catch up on stuff, you know. And anyway, where was I now? Oh, let me put my glasses on. I can't see a damn thing. Right. Oh, that's it. Misinformation. But the good news was, we're not applying a copyright strike. They didn't copyright strike me. So that's great. So I didn't get into any, that was the one, removed. And I'm glad about that because I was not even proud of it. I wasn't proud of it at all. And then Mad Duchess, there she is there, she says, favourite Yankee Wally videos, and she had a file, and it says 46 unavailable videos are hidden. And Fiona said the same thing. She said that your videos are not gone off YouTube, they're just hidden. So I'm not quite sure if I have really, maybe those with, I had made a lot more than 46. I had well over 300 videos when they took my channel down in 2022. So these could be the ones that I've made since, well, in my 9 comebacks, put it that way. I still haven't had a reply from Mr. Mohan, but I figured that it would take him a long time to do the proper job. I'm willing to wait a little longer. Anyway, I was reading, I took screenshots of it, but it was all about Mr. Mo Ringer, I think that's what his name, Harry's ghostwriter, and how he found Harry to work with, and how Harry had to have the last say, and he had to be the victor at the end of every confrontation about anything. That's basically what, if you read Harry's book, he'll never be defeated, at least not on paper, And he was on about going out to Afghanistan, and he wanted to go back, but they wouldn't let him go because he was a risk. I think he was a risk for two reasons. One is he was a risk because the enemy would make him hit a target. But also I think he was a lazy git who just wasn't qualified to even fly a helicopter. He could only be a gunner and talked about it to everybody else. He was a loose-lipped, lazy layabout. But, that's the way it goes, isn't it? Right, let me go now on Prince Charles, and have a look at this picture here. Now, can you see it? She's with a guy called Oliver Cheshire, who's just got married to one of the Pixie Lot, I think he's got married to. Little Mix, I think the group are called. Look at the size of her backside and her tummy in that. And look at the way she's seducing the camera. Oh, look at that. Doesn't she look pregnant? Anyway, here's Charles in Guernsey in Jersey.
Union jacket on for you. Your beauty, you're so handsome.
She says to him, I've got my Union jacket on for you. He said, it looks beautiful, or you're beautiful. And she said, and you're very handsome. And he said, flattery will get you everywhere. I think it's just lovely. Let's go.
I've got my Union jacket on for you. Your beauty, you're so handsome.
Who are you standing on?
Doesn't he look great? Doesn't he just look great? He really does look good. And I do hope that everything is working out well for him. Oh, I do hope so. And he's got that little cornflower in his lapel as usual. He always puts a cornflower in. I thought he always did blue, but he's gone a bit different today. And look at that picture of Catherine. Look at that picture. Okay, she may be a bit too thin, but let's be honest, she really has got that sort of figure that you just think, half your luck, Catherine, in the way she's slightly turned. I bet that smashed a few plates in Montecito. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry put on a brave face and smile awkwardly after savage joke. That was when Serena Williams said, I don't know if it was a joke. It didn't sound much like a joke to me. Don't take up all the oxygen. I mean, it's a bit of a stupid joke. I'd have done a better one than that if I was going to have a joke at their expense. I'd done the dress. This is an interesting one. She was right behind Trump when the bullet hit him. And in fact, it's just a little bit odd how she seemed to be signalling to the shooter. I know this sounds really bizarre, and I think, I don't know, maybe I sound a bit stupid, but it made me think. Let me just see bookmarks. All bookmarks. There we are. Let me just show you this. The woman in this video behind Donald Trump, where many viewers accused her of giving the shooter instructions, has been identified as FBI Assistant Director Janine Giuseppe. It's still a developing story. Have a look.
She's not even freaking the fuck out. What the fuck? This shit, dude. Watch. She sits down. Yep. Watch this. Puts the sign up. Take a look at what happened.
Shots go off.
She's completely normal, and then watch.
And then she's got her.
What the fuck? What the fuck? People are freaking out,
And she's filming.
and she's just like right there. She's not even freaking the fuck out. What the fuck? This shit, dude. What?
Well, this woman acted very strange. She put that sign up, which was almost like she was looking at somebody else, looking at her putting the sign up. And then when the shots were fired, everyone else was diving for cover, and she was texting or doing something on her phone. Just peculiar. I'm sorry, that's the last I'm going to talk about anything to do with politics. It's not really politics, it's just strategy. There we go. There's Kate at Wimbledon. That man standing alone with the dark sunglasses and the dark suit is their press secretary. Look how everybody's clapping for her. And she usually scurries to her seat and sits down, but this time she did give a little wave. And I did see Tom Cruise behind her. Yes, there he is. Next to the lady in the lemon dress. This is the Royal Box, you see, so there'll be all sorts of famous people there. I don't know if I can spot anybody else worthy of a mention, or even that I recognise. But Pippa, Catherine, little Charlotte, and Tom Cruise giving a good old clap. Tom Cruise is in like Flynn. Meghan's never going to invite him to any of her parties. Now, when she went to Wimbledon, she went down those same steps. She went into the Royal Box and she wanted it emptied, because that was what she thought she was entitled to. So they emptied it. So she's got her two friends either side of her. And behind her, I think she had a security, or two security, maybe three. Who cares? And that was how they enjoyed the Wimbledon, with nobody. And this one man who was sat somewhere, he actually stood in front of her, facing her, but with his camera, because he was taking a picture of himself with a tennis court in his background. And quick as a flash, the security went up to him and said, no pictures, no pictures. And he said, I wasn't taking a picture of her, I was taking a picture of myself with the court in the background. Huh. That's how paranoid she was, or how entitled she thought she was. Listen to this, this is good.
To poison.
Let me get it back to the start, because it's always important to get it.
She actually is able to destroy relationships. And when she cultivates relationships, it's always for her own good, her own purpose. So she's not actually someone who's any generosity of spirit. And it is really one of the great sadnesses of this whole saga, that in the end Meghan has destroyed the relationship between Harry and his family, just as she has destroyed the relationship with not only her father, but also her half-sister. Meghan's mother deserted her when she was 2 years old. No one ever saw Meghan's mother at school in all her years, both at primary and at secondary school. So Thomas, working phenomenally hard as a lighting director, always made sure that he was at home then for Meghan, took her out at weekends, paid for her schooling, paid for all the things, including her union ticket to become an actress. So suddenly, to be treated in that way, so ungratefully, so spitefully, just has completely shattered a man who in the end doted and worshipped his daughter. And he can't understand it. And he just thought that the letters and the things that Meghan publicised about what a terrible man he was completely unwarranted. And of course, that's the indication of Meghan. I mean, it's not just obviously her father. She did the same to the Queen. She did the same to Princess Kate and to William. She is a person who has absolutely remorseless in her hatred if she doesn't decide that someone should be neutralised and destroyed. And that is her strength and, of course, her weakness.
Her strength and her weakness. Well, as far as I'm concerned, it's definitely a weakness. I'll tell you what, I don't care how hard she is or how hard-headed and bossy and entitled she is. She's got to be kept awake at night thinking, what have I thrown away? Because she was apparently all through her 20s running around looking for acting jobs. She got bit parts here, bit parts there. Her biggest break was when she got on that soap, Suits, She must have been really blessed to get that, and she stuck at it. Her time in Suits was coming to an end, though she was desperate. She was very desperate, and so desperate, in fact, that she came to Britain to look for a British man. I suppose there wasn't anybody in America that wanted to go near her, because she was, I mean, I'm not being funny, but she was a bit of a, a loose woman. Nothing wrong with being a loose woman, but, own it, just go with it, and don't try and be whiter than white now. And so she got to Britain, and good God, talk about landing on your feet. She was suddenly given the once-in-a-lifetime chance to marry a man that loved her dearly and to become a part of the royal family. I mean, good God, it doesn't get any better than that, does it? Although, as much as I may love Charles, and if he asked me to marry him, I would say no. I'd have to say no. I say, Charles, listen, mate, I've got a bit of a past, and I can't really put you through that because it wouldn't be fair on you. So we'll just have to be friends. And that's where we leave it. But Meghan, no, she lied and she lied and she lied and she lied. I think we found 150 lies in that piece of paper, remember, that I showed in one of my videos? Good God, too many. And she's poisoned everything around her. So don't tell me that she doesn't feel a little bit of a freak, a little bit of a... Does she ever admit that she's wrong? Would she ever admit that she was wrong? I wonder if she ever would. There was something I retweeted here. Don't forget Ian Sexton and the Bot Farm. Oh, Gavin Newsom would appreciate it if you didn't retweet this video of him apologising for getting caught sleeping with his campaign manager's wife. That tells you the backbone of that man, doesn't it? The calibre. And there's Meghan again from Paula Manatovich, our Paula, talking. Look at it. And look at him. She can't shut up. She loves the sound of her own voice. That's about the belly. And there was something else. Oh, yeah. As we all know, this is from Debbie. What's her proper name now? Let me just check. Deb Scotchlass. As we all know, Meghan is broken and is blaming both the royal family and the press. But I hear she is also blaming Harry for holding her back. She no longer trusts Harry to deal with the royal family, and allegedly she intends to deal with them herself by causing havoc. There we go. That's the typical loser's mentality, isn't it? Just, I'm going down, so I'm going to drag you all down with me as best I can. She won't do it. She's tried already. If she could have destroyed the royal family, she really would have. And then the answers that came onto that were quite interesting. How's that plan been working out for her? This is not going to end well for her. She's one sad, deluded twat. She's been planning the divorce for a long time. She fails to see that she brings everything on herself. She is a walking advertisement of repulsion. Lady C. She's the one who had the summer ball last night. Meghan's delusional, said Mystified. The aspects to consider for their future income: high expenses, ongoing legal battles, at least 10, and shifting public opinion could impact their financial stability. Will they be able to sustain their success long term? Share your thoughts. 1 hour a week they're working. She couldn't believe she wasn't being paid for doing engagements. All sorts of stuff. But also, she will go down in history as the dirty little tart who thought she could become queen simply by marrying the space son, Sarah Doyle. It's bad. I mean, they were taking me down in the beginning because I was talking about the moon bump. Now everybody's talking about it. They can't, They can't take us all down. It'd be like playing whack-a-mole. It's just that now I've become the object of ridicule, so it's okay. I don't mind. I think I'd rather it be me than anybody else because I'm of an age now where, I can take it. I don't care. I don't mind at all. Harry can't return to the UK until April 2026 because he'd be liable for UK taxes on all earnings. He made $6 million from Spare and he inherits at 45 in 2029. He inherited at 40, didn't he? A cynic would therefore say divorce won't happen till minimally 2026, or as I've always said, post-inheritance. Yeah, it's very true. Yep, nobody's got a good word to say. And the Sussex squad seems to have gone awfully quiet. The more Meghan attacks the royal family, the more people will defend them. It's absolutely true. There we go. Meghan's bones. 69 of 69. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Toilet Perry hasn't given... Oh, that's Tyler Perry. Oh, gosh. She get Okra, the race baiter, or Thale King to play the victim. Go ahead, 4 years now. She can't even get an acting gig. Not even Tyler Perry has given her a job. She's just got to repack her scam jams and go toss salad. Meg Hag. Oh, who's that one? Steph HRH. You tell us how you really feel, Steph. Oh, good one. Yeah. Anyway, that's all it is so far. Everything's going to look good. Everything's coming up roses. I'm very happy. I really am. I think everything's going quite well. Meghan Markle, this is the Duchess, the fake Duchess. Truth is not hate speech. I like her. She's well worth a follow. Meghan started 2024 by spreading false rumours about the Prince and Princess of Wales preparing for divorce. Even crypto scammer Boozy was betting on an imminent divorce. Now we all know it was Harkle's projection. Look who's getting divorced. I don't know. Personally, I hope they stay together. Because at the moment, they're both... I would say... No, I was going to say damaged goods. They're not damaged. They're self-inflicted. They are both dangerous people to anybody that gets caught in their spider's web. If Harry met somebody else, Chelsea Davy wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole now. No way. And I don't think anybody would touch Meghan. But should she land another husband and Harry land another wife, then we've got 4 nutters to put up with, because the only people that's going to marry them or be with them are people that are going to be even worse. So we'd have 4 instead of 2. So I hope they stay together and save the rest of the world from any more of their nonsense, because at least we can deal with two birds with one stone, if you know what I mean. Oh, look at this, Crazy Days and Nights. He's the guy that always gives little stories. According to Celebrity Days and Nights, Meghan has been banned from using her friend's private jet because she was treating it like her own and using it without asking. How rude. The illiterate one was barred from using one's friend's private jet because she was treating it like her own rather than asking. That's rude, isn't it? That'd be like taking somebody's car. Oh, do you remember that picture? No, really, that picture. Do you think Catherine would dress like that in that particular... He was in a beautiful uniform, that one with the white gloves. The one behind and behind that, they are dressed in sports gear, which is quite acceptable. Everybody else was in their fatigues or in their uniforms. She had the captain to accompany her, and look how she dishonoured him, disrespected him, by putting on a pair of baggy shorts and, or what do they call them? A romper suit, that's it. Oh, a romper suit. That's what she's got on, with a jacket over the top. And flat shoes like those. That is quite disgusting. I'm going to save that picture. It's quite the worst picture I've ever seen, mind. It's horrible. It's horrible. She should have worn at least a frock that came down to her mid-calf. But who am I to tell her she's going to... Hey, Harry and Meghan have turned Invictus into a circus for self-publicity. Anyone can see it. Invictus organisation is a sinking ship and those on board are fleeing for their lives. Look at her, leading those people, and they're all dressed beautifully, except her. Oh, look, the Beckham series had raving reviews and 5 Emmy nominations. And Fake Duchess said, sorry, Harry and Meghan, the Emmy Awards are not for sale. Anyway, that's it for now. I think I've done... How long? Oh, gosh, too much. Right, I'm going to go now and I'll be back tomorrow. I got to start reading the comments. I didn't read them last night because when they took a channel down, I kind of got a bit nervous again, and I can't sometimes face things, but I'll read my comments and I'll come back tomorrow with whatever you want. Okay, and I'll see you soon in the next one, and it won't be long. Thank you very, very much for staying with me. I love you all, I really do. And I did not crop that name off that Mimi. I didn't. Thank you for listening. Cheerio!